And good morning, traders. I've been watching FSLR on the negative side, so I think I want to short this stock. It's coming out with numbers tonight, and there's been a bit of a sell-off. The stock is down about 3.5% or so. So I am looking to short this stock. So we're just going to short 700 shares of FSLR and see what happens. Hopefully we'll get a good fill, and I think the market's looking down. The stock is down. And here we are. So let's see what happens on the downside. The market's down, which should help this stock to continue down. And SunPower is down about 10 or 11% today on its numbers, and its outlook is weak. So if FSLR falls in sympathy, which right now it is, and we're green already, which I always like when we're green already. So we're going to look to add to this position if it continues down a little bit. And we want it to drop below this last bar before we start to think about adding to the position. Now, generally this is a little more extended than I would like away from the red line or even the blue line, but we're going to put up with it here for now. Okay, now it's turning red on us. Well. The market's turning up, and when you're short, that's not the best thing to be happening. But I like this little pattern that might be developing here on the left. This it's kind of a Fibonacci drive, and if it continues down, it continues down. So no need to panic. We're down. Well, we're up 12 bucks now, and it's going to move around. And as long as we get this trend going, we're going to try to ride this trend down. Obviously, we know that there's going to reverse at some point. The question is, and the art is, when is that going to happen? It's been too early for me to jump in so far because I haven't seen anything one way or the other that would tell me to jump in on this. And I'm still not seeing anything one way or the other that tells me to add to this position. So if it drops below this last bar right here, then we're going to add to that position just a little bit, maybe bring it up to 1,000 shares. Then we'll look for another add point after that. But this sucker is kind of boring. I thought that we would jump in at that spot, and because the market's continuing down, the stock would continue down. And now the market is really not performing in our favor. And that's probably because it's just reverting to the mean after having such a long run down there just for the last several minutes. It's got to correct a little bit. But if the stock doesn't start to move in our favor, we're not going to add, that's for sure. And as these bars continue to pile on each other, this last bar now, the one right here, this little doji candle, is basically telling us the buyers and the sellers are winning out. And there's nobody, actually there's nobody winning out. So and that's generally signals a little bit of a reversal, and we can see that in the P&L right now. We're down 100 bucks. And this red line now, and this last bar that we just went through is going to be key. So what's the top of that last bar? That's going to be a good indication of where we should either get out. That red line is kind of a warning for me. If it starts to go above it and closes above it, then I really want to get out of this position. And down a couple $100 is a little bit more than I wanted to be right now. That's a key number right there. That bar, which has some volume to it. So we definitely want to be out there, but I don't want to lose more than a couple $100 on this position. There's really no reason to, because it's so low volume that I don't want to. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to ride a profitable streak here, because it's looked like now we have maybe 2.5 reversals there. Just switching to the 2-minute chart. And now it really looks like that red's going to cross on that 2-minute chart. And if it crosses there, that's not a good sign. And definitely those top of these bars right there is not a good sign. Okay, this is not my best trade of my career, but it's also not bad. It's time to start thinking about getting out of this trade. We want to cut our losses short. When we can, and if the thing's not moving in our direction, that's okay. It's time to ride another bus. Just get off the bus and get on another one. And we don't have to be married to this position and hope all day long, because really hope is not a strategy. And now that red line's getting closer to that blue one. The green bar is starting to pop up through the blue. I'm not as comfortable with this position, especially now down 200 bucks, as I was when it turned green off the bat. And that's the way the market goes. This can change at any moment's notice. The market's still going down here, but the stock does not seem to want to go up. So I think it's time to get out. It's not doing what we want to do. Time to ride another bus. So let's bring up our order ticket here, and we'll just go ahead and get it. Most of the time I like to cover at the market and just get the heck out. We made the wrong decision. Down $200. Let's just take our lumps, and we're out. Oop. Okay, lost $238 on that trade. Time to find another one. By the way, I continued to monitor the stock throughout the day. I'm now after hours trading. We got out of the stock at $49.82. Look what happened after that. The stock did nothing but kind of go up steadily throughout the day until it hit almost $52. And this is why if you have that hope strategy and you say, oh, it'll come back, you'd be down about $1,600 just hoping. And now we're looking after hours, and that stock is trading up significantly. They had numbers tonight. And if you'd been holding it overnight because you didn't have the discipline to cut your loss, you'd have really been hurting, because now you'd be up about, 4.5, 5 points. That'd be a $3,500 loss. So your first loss is your best loss. Take your loss and get the heck out. And we only lost a couple $100 here on this trade. It could have been much, much worse. So take your losses early.